Hey everybody, Jedi Jack Luther here, and I'm back with a new video and a new toy I just picked up. So I've been trying to get these videos together, and boy, I tell you, it's sometimes a little bit difficult, but we're moving right along here. So I want to show something I just picked up. So if you go back to the 90s, toy companies began making toys from movies that you wouldn't think kids would be watching. You know, Kenner did Predator and Aliens and all that stuff, and you don't think kids would be watching that, so why make toys for it? But they made toys, and they were mostly popular with my generation. Not so much the kids that grew up and never really watched some of these movies. But I'm not too harsh on that rule, because growing up as a kid, we watched Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th. So as young teenagers, we saw horror movies. I mean, it wasn't anything as worse as there is out there. But the genre of trying to make toys off of movies, it doesn't work usually like it normally does. And it's hard to find that niche of kids playing with these toys other than the adult collectors who want them just because. With that being said, Walmart, after the release of Kong Skull Island, which I actually do want to see, it looks like a really good movie, Walmart, in partnership with their one toy company who does, if you go to Walmart and look in between Transformers and the comic book heroes, you're usually going to find the core, which is a bunch of generic looking G.I. Joe figures. Well, that company that does that, it's on the box here, Lanyard, that's the name of it, teamed up with Walmart and make Walmart exclusive toys for Kong Skull Island. So, they made several playsets and a few vehicles, and then they made their biggest toy yet. This thing's huge. They made Kong. This is backwards on the video, but I'm sure it will be rightwards when you watch it. Kong's Mega Figure. And Mega Figure is correct, because this is Kong. Look at the size of this thing. It is massively huge. 18 inches tall. It's so tall that even with the phone being on my little thing so I can videotape, normally a figure, any toy would be below it, you wouldn't see it. You can still see the top of his head. He's that tall. He's huge. And he's got some weight to him. So I'm going to briefly talk about the pros and the cons of this toy, because there's a few cons with it and there's some pros. The pro is it's a massively big figure. If you got loose G.I. Joes or any other kind of army men, this is the perfect figure to have, because the pure scale of it is just massive. I mean, little figures will just be like nothing compared to this, and it will just look like, you know, a true David versus Goliath situation. This thing is just a big toy, and there's nothing wrong with that. As a big toy goes, it's beautiful. We love big toys. The bigger the toy, the better. This thing just towers over everything. It is so big. To give you an idea, if you go back a few videos and watch a video about Tendril, the Inhumanoid, Tendril was only 14 inches tall. Kong is 4 more inches taller than that. You could put them together and have a battle of the Titans almost. I mean, that would be a great fight too, right there. He's very well built. I really had issues thinking, gosh, how cheap is this made? Because it's a third-party company. Lanyard's not a top company like Hasbro. But the figure is well built. It's very sturdy. It's very well put together. I mean, the joints aren't loose or anything. I mean, he's hollow, but still at that point, he's rock solid. I mean, if you threw this at someone, you'd do some damage. He has got a lot of weight to him. This is an awful lot of plastic, and it's just made right. Had to hit a button on there. It's just made right. And now the retail value of this was the more expensive piece of the collection. It was only $25. My Walmart has an end cap loaded with them, and they marked them down to 15, and that's when I jumped on it. At 25, I was like, I'm a little, but at 15, I jumped at it. This is more worth. If you go on eBay, they're going for $30 and $40 a piece for these giant figures, and and just to charge the shipping because the thing weighs so much. They're going for a lot of money because everyone wants one to put in their collection, because some of them have a big Godzilla figure, and then you have King Kong versus Godzilla, which, by the way, is a Blu-ray I'm coming in the mail today. I can't wait to watch that movie. It's just old classic guys in rubber outfits beating each other up. You can't get better than that. He has some good articulation to him. The head moves, but then kind of comes back into place. I don't know if that's on purpose or just how the neck joint is, that it just is forced back. His arms are ball jointed, and they can rotate all the way around, and they go up and down. He's got a double elbow joint right there, so he can drop the people's elbow on somebody. He can do the Hulk Hogan, bump, 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 and the crowd goes wild for him. He can do that. Other arm is situated the same way. If you rotate them in the right position, he can look like he's beating his chest. The box says, with chest beating, well, I thought it did. Oh, it says chest beating, fully articulated arms. But he doesn't have a function to beat his chest. You just have to put him in that position. His wrists have some rotation, but not a whole lot. And his feet have some good rotation to him so that he can balance himself a little bit better. And that's where I want to get into the cons of this figure. He's got articulation, but he doesn't have enough. He came with about a 4-inch figure of a generic soldier with a rocket launcher. And just to give you an idea, the video is about the monkey. You're not about the. I think they wasted their money giving you. I'm sure they wanted to give you a figure, so you had some little military man to fight with. And I'm not even putting him on the video because it's not worth it. The waste of that plastic could have been put into Kong and given him at least either joints right where the leg meets the body area, or joints in the kneecap. At least if he had joints here on these areas, he could take the classic gorilla pose where he's on all fours. He could look like that. That would look cool. But because he's got no leg joints or anything, he's stuck in this standing pose. He really can't do anything else but look like this. He's stuck being this tall, where there's nothing inherently wrong about that. But it would have been nice that he could have taken a classic gorilla-looking pose, like he's charging at someone on all fours, because he can run faster with 4 limbs than he can with 2. Standing up, all that weight is, slowing him down a bit. But the arm articulation is just fantastic. He's got, I really would have liked to seen a joint in there where his forearms could rotate a little bit better. The sculpting on this is pretty good. The color and the paint, everything looks like he's got fur all over his body. He's got the musculature that he should have. You can see it in his chest. You can see ribs and the bottom part there. They really detailed him out. They gave him paint on here to look like he's been scratched by something, that he's been in a fight. So they did a good job. There's more right with this figure than there is wrong. Except for the few joints I wish it had, it's a really good figure. $25 is not bad for it, but if you go to Walmart, and these are Walmart exclusives, you're only going to find them at Walmart. If you find them at Walmart and they're down to $15 and you've been thinking about it, jump on it, because a giant monkey is pretty versatile. He can be whatever you want him to be. He can be put in different scenes. If you have Gorilla God from DC, he could be like a giant soldier that got created or something. There's a lot of versatility here with this giant monkey. Doesn't that look like something? He's staring up. Brah, bom, bom, bom. He's very cool. I'm very pleased with this figure. At 15 bucks, it's a steal. On the website, it's listed as 19. They rolled it down to 19. But I'm telling you, go to a few Walmarts. If you find him for 15 and you've been thinking about it, go ahead and pick him up. Because right now, we're getting into crunch time. It is December 13th. We are 11 days away from Christmas Eve. And you probably have a fanboy in your house, or you have a kid that would just, a child. As a kid, I would have loved this. If I got this wrapped up for Christmas and this was under the tree, oh, you can bet I would have had a ball. This goes with anything. The Star Wars people. Han Solo lands on a planet inhabited by a giant monkey. I mean, the Transformers could have fought this guy. G.I. Joe could have fought this guy. King Kong is so versatile as a giant figure. It's wonderful. I would have had a blast with this figure if I had gotten it as a kid. So if you got a kid and you haven't, I don't know what to get him, you know, he likes certain figures. This is a very versatile figure. It can do a lot. It can be a lot in a lot of different play areas. And being big and sturdy, a little kid can handle this. This is big. You know, it's pretty sturdy. You know, it's not gonna. He should be able to survive quite a few fights. I was just impressed. Getting him out of the box, and I want to tell you this. You see this on other reviews, but I have to mention it too. He's connected to the box with 3 cable ties. But once you cut those ties, he's still connected to the box. You see, if you look on the back here, you will see there's a tiny little hole right there. He is screwed in to the box so that he can't be taken. Someone just can't pick him up and walk out with him. He's stuck, he's screwed to the box. So once you get the box, cut all the tape, open up the flaps of the box, get into the back area, take a Phillips head screwdriver, you're going to get that screw out, and then he's free to go. He's just so awesome. This guy is just he's looking for a fight. So it's Wednesday, December 13th. I'm Jedi Jack Luther. My review of Kong Skull Island, the mega figure, 18-inch posable King Kong figure. Pick it up. I mean, it's for the few limitations it has, is nothing compared to how great this figure really is. For a third-party company, if Hasbro made this figure, it would have cost 2 to 3 times as much for the same amount of plastic. And it's good quality plastic. It's not cheap knockoff plastic. So the joints are very well movable. They do not stick, so you shouldn't have too much of an issue. But all in all, I highly recommend this figure. If you've been thinking about it and you can find it when they mark it down, grab it. Just pick it up. If they mark it down really low, you could have an army of giant monkeys coming after your characters or whatever. That would be absolutely cool. So I will see you guys later when I get another package or I get something else, and I'm going to come on here and I'm going to review it and let you know what I think and give you a thumbs up. Go get yourself an 18-inch gorilla to fight all your other toys. You will not regret it. I'm really excited about this toy. It's going up on the top shelf, probably going to fight Tendril there. So everyone, I will see you probably in a couple days. I'll probably have something else to review. So stay tuned on my channel, subscribe, press the buttons that are below here somewhere. I'm just going to point randomly. They're somewhere down there. And I will see you next time when I discover what's in the box.